What's up, everybody? You already know who it is. It's DripGodDero, and I'm back at you guys with another banger. So in today's video, we will be talking about the Bulls versus the Hawks in the play-in tournament. Now, we are bringing it over to the East, like I was saying before. If you haven't checked out the Western Conference play-in matchups, please do go check those out. I released 2 videos for the Warriors versus the Kings, and also the Lakers versus the Pelicans yesterday. So go check those out before these games come on today. But like I was saying, we are bringing it to the East, and we will be talking about the Bulls versus the Hawks matchup. Now, with all that being said, before we do get into this video, I want to shout all you guys out because y'all went crazy on the last 2 videos. Y'all been going crazy on them with the views, the comments, all that. So I appreciate you guys. Road to 1,000 subscribers, and let's switch over and let's get it. All right, so as you guys can see, I've switched over. We do have the play-in tournament up right here, and y'all already know when it comes to my predictions on which teams I think will win, I like to base it on about 3 different things. The first one is just overall health of the players in the team. Then we'll take a look at the stats and also the matchups that the teams had against each other during the regular season. I think those are 3 very important things to look at when it comes to choosing which team will win. Also, another thing is just my personal opinion on the teams. So those pretty much the things I base my thoughts on. And hey, y'all see it, man. Play-in tournament, Bulls versus the Hawks. Be on the lookout for that 76ers versus the Heat video as well. That should be releasing today as well, so be on the lookout for that. But let's switch over and let's take a look at the Chicago Bulls 2023-2024 regular season so that we could see exactly how good or how many games they won against their adversaries, which are the Atlanta Hawks. So let's scroll through this. Y'all see it? Title: Chicago Bulls schedule 2023-2024 for the regular season. But let's scroll through it until we see the Atlanta Hawks. Once we see them, we will take a look and see if they won or lost. All right, so it looks like we came up against on their first matchup, and it looks like the Atlanta Hawks lost. So the Chicago Bulls won, and it was 136-126. Looks like they had DeRozan, Vucevic, Sumu. All right, that's a pretty good dub. So currently it is 1-0. Let's keep scrolling down, see if we see them again. All right, it looks like they lost to Atlanta in a second matchup, 113-103. They did have DeRozan, Drummond, got 18 rebounds, and it looks like DeRozan had 5 assists. So currently it's 1-1. Let me just make sure I didn't miss any other games. Yeah, it looked like I missed one. So we gonna go through this one more time. All right, one more time. All right, so yeah, they won one more game actually against Atlanta right here, as you guys can see, and it was 118-113. So they were 2-1 against the Atlanta Hawks overall. So I say that's fairly good. And with all that being said, let's switch over to the Chicago Bulls stats so that we could get a better idea of what the team is good at and bad at. So overall, when it comes to points per game, they are 22nd out of 30th, so they don't score a lot of points. Their offensive rating is 19th out of 30th, so their offense isn't that good neither. Now, when it comes to opponents' points per game, they are 16th out of 30th, so pretty much middle of the pack. And when it comes to their defensive rating, they are 21st out of 30th. So to be honest, they don't really have an elite offense or defense just based on the numbers. They're more so bottom 15 at all of all of the metrics, even pace, their bottom 15 at. So that's definitely something that you don't want to see if you betting on this team. Now, let's scroll down, let's continue so that we can see some of the team stats and also some of the injuries to see exactly what we can expect. So, of course, we all know Lonzo Ball out for the full season. Also, we know Zach LaVine out for the full season. Patrick Williams out for the full season. So that's already 3 of the key players right there. Andre Drummond, we don't know if he's going to play just yet. He may play, he may not. We don't know. Same with Dosunmu. We don't know. I would expect both of these players to play because of how high the stakes are for these two teams. But you just don't know when it comes to him. Also with Julian Phillips, same thing. You don't know. So they definitely have a lot of injuries, and it's very unfortunate that they got so many injuries. And there y'all go. I know my face was in the way, but yeah, man, they do got a lot of injuries. But let's take a look at their stats. So one thing to notice that this team does get in the paint a lot. As you guys can see, they are second when it comes to 2-point attempts. So overall, they're getting in the paint, they're hitting the mid-range shots, and they're not hitting threes. As you guys can see, when it comes to 3-point attempts, they're at 26th. So they don't shoot a lot of threes, and they also don't make a lot of threes because they're 20th when it comes to their percentage. So overall, they're going to do their work in the mid-range and in the actual paint. So keep that in mind. That's something to note, and that's something that if you're the Atlanta Hawks, you want to try to game plan around. Now, when it comes to turnovers, they're 3rd in the league, so they do actually, have a lot of turnovers. So that's not too good. Well, they don't have a lot of turnovers. Sorry about that. So they don't actually have a lot of turnovers. So that's pretty good because in the playoffs, you don't want a lot of turnovers because that's when other teams could definitely make a run. But let's scroll down to some of the players. I would say that in this playoff matchup or play-in matchup, the 2 most important players are going to be DeMar DeRozan and Kobe White. Like we already know, Zach LaVine, he's not playing. But when it comes to DeMar DeRozan, what you want to do if you're him, try to get to the foul line, get to the free throw line. As you guys can see, 7.7 free throw attempts, which is great. So that's what I'm trying to do if I'm DeMar DeRozan, trying to get to the free throw line, driving to the rim. And, just trying to get physical, trying to take advantage of the smaller guards that the Atlanta Hawks have. As we know, they got Trae Young. He's a smaller guard. As we know, they got DeJounte Murray. He's not as big as DeMar DeRozan. So try to take advantage of those matchups. With Kobe White, you just hope that he stays hot. He done had a pretty good season so far. When you look at the percentages, 37% from 3 on 7 attempts. So you just hope that he stays hot when it comes to his 3-point shooting because they're definitely going to need it. And you just hope that he doesn't, get in the playoffs and things change. We know with a lot of these younger players, once they actually get in the playoffs, they either excel or they kind of dip a bit. So that's what you hope when it comes to Kobe White. Also, when it comes to both of them, you just hope that the role players pitch in. Like I said, there's a lot of injuries on this team, so you really got to hope that the role players such as Alex Caruso pitch in. He's shooting 40% from 3, so you hope that he pitch in from that 3-point line. When it comes to Dosunmu, same thing, shooting 40% from 3. You hope he pitch in if he plays. Also, defensively, you want to hope that both these players bring it because they go have a tall task playing against Trae Young and also DeJounte Murray. That's a tall task, so you definitely hope that they play a good defense. If Andre Drummond plays, you want him to cook when it comes to getting those rebounds. Try to get as many rebounds as possible. Attack those boards. But with all that being said, let's switch over to the Atlanta Hawks so that we can see their stats and their breakdown. So we got them right here, and let's take a look at it, man. Let's take a look at it. So for the Atlanta Hawks, their points per game is 5th out of 30. When it comes to their offensive rating, they're 12th out of 30. So overall, offensively, they're pretty good. Now, defensively, it's a lot to be, needed. Let's keep it real. Opponents' points per game, they are 100. They are 28th out of 30. So that's definitely bad. They're allowing opponents to score 120 points, which is wild. And then defensive rating 27th out of 30. So this team is the definition of a glass cannon. Pretty good on offense, but horrible on defense. So let's scroll down. Let's take a look at some of their team stats. And then, let's look at these players that's injured. So overall, man, Saddiq Bey, he out for the season. That's definitely a tough loss. We got Clint Capella. He may play. I'm not sure. It looks like he just took a rest day against Indiana, so I'm expecting him to play. Jalen Johnson, he's probably out. It looks like he'll be out for 3 weeks, so you can't expect him to play. Seth Lundy, he may play. Wesley Matthews, he may play. And Okongwu, he is out. So, yeah, they got 2 big losses in Saddiq Bey and Okongwu definitely. But let's scroll down and let's keep it moving, man. Let's keep it moving. All right, so when it comes to this team, I'd say the most important thing for this team is the three-point line. As you guys can see, when it comes to three-point attempts, they're 7th. So they shoot a lot of threes, and they're 17th when it comes to the percentage. So it's not like they're hitting a lot of threes, but let's just keep it real. That's where they make a lot of their money, from the three-point line. Another thing, free throw attempts. They're 7th in the league, so they definitely get to the line a lot. And that should be the focal point when it comes to the Chicago Bulls. Try not to foul and just guard the three. If you could do those 2 things, I think it will be fine if you're the Chicago Bulls. But one other thing is that when it comes to total rebounds, they are 6th, so they do get a lot of rebounds, and especially offensive rebounds. So if you're the Chicago Bulls, you want to make sure that you box out. You can't let this team get any more possessions. As we've seen, their offense is kind of deadly. They do have a lot of possessions, so make sure that you box out. Now, when it comes to the players, I'm going to keep it real. This game will be won or lost by Trae Young. The reason I say that is because, as we know, Trae Young, he is dynamite when it comes to the offense. But he's, definitely a liability when it comes to the defense. And as I was saying, it really just comes down to if Trae Young will be exploited on defense by the Chicago Bulls. If the Chicago Bulls can exploit him on defense, get him in foul trouble, things of that nature, then they definitely got a high chance at winning against the Atlanta Hawks. If they can't do that and they end up letting Trae Young really get in his bag, then I got the Atlanta Hawks winning. Now, DeJounte Murray, you need DeJounte Murray to continue on the road that he's been on. He's been playing great this year, and you just want him to lock up on Kobe White, especially because Kobe White could get hot, and just continue to hound on defense. Offense, you could get whatever you can out of him because he's pretty good offensively. So I say try to get what you can out of him, and hopefully he just continues to play the way he's playing. He's been having a great season. DeAndre Hunter, let's talk about him, man. DeAndre Hunter, you want him to go back to how he was a couple of years ago. You just hope that he plays good defense because more than likely he will be guarding he will be guarding DeMar DeRozan. So when it comes to DeAndre Hunter, you want him to play solid defense and make his open shots. Don't try to do too much because he is known for that. Don't try to do too much. Just take your open shots, take what the defense give you, and play solid defense on DeMar DeRozan. Don't fall for the pump fakes, things of that nature. Clint Capella, what we need you to do is not get overwhelmed by Drummond on the boards, man, because that's going to be a premier matchup when it comes to the rebounding. Clint Capella versus DeAndre Drummond. Whoever wins that battle can definitely change the tide of this game, especially if you're Atlanta. You want to win the rebounding category because your offense is so potent. If you're Chicago, you want to win the offensive rebounding. Well, not offensive rebounding, but you want to win the rebounding category so that you can stop this team from getting so many second chances. So that's what I think it really stems down to, or comes down to. Hey man, you already know, if you enjoyed this breakdown, like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the motherfucking channel. The team that I got winning is the Atlanta Hawks. I think that their offense will be a little too potent, a little too deadly for the Chicago Bulls. So that's my pick, Atlanta to win. Hey, like I said before, like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the motherfucking channel, turn on notifications and all that good stuff. And I'm out. Peace.